Hey guys, and welcome back. As you can see, I'm still in a car on the way to work, and I'm trying to utilize the time that I'm spending in a car every morning and in the afternoon on the way to work and then back to work to make a video and report how our settling in India for us as an international family, so foreigners in a new country in India are settling in, and what are our experiences, struggles, or not struggles, maybe even a positive experiences are. Um, it's always definitely an excitement and a challenge when you are moving to a new country, which in our case took place a multiple time. Uh, I lived in the past in the United States, then in Europe, in Czech Republic, in Prague. Then I moved for 7 years to Singapore. Now we have moved only a month ago to India, and this is our story how we are settling in. Uh, we are in India, Hyderabad. It's a very dynamic, developing city, and based on the number of the companies that I see over here, all the international companies, all the brands that you can think of are already here. So that may make me think that here's lots of expats that are already here or coming in, and this type of the video may be beneficial for them. So this episode is continuation to my previous one, where I was describing our journey, how we were mm, shortlisting the preschools for our baby. And I wanted to make sure that I will dedicate one full video to the school which we have eventually selected, which is the Oak Ridge International School. So let me start by saying that we came across the Oak Ridge International School simply by Googling out all the best international schools that the Hyderabad can offer, and looks like that both Google and ChatGPT agreed that Oak Ridge is one of the top two or top three picks which you can have, in the city. It also played very nicely that the area where we were looking for, for our permanent housing, plus location of the hospital where my wife would be delivering our second baby, the the location of the international school, also on the way to my office, was very, very convenient. So this was added plus, uh, but we had to see the school, how it looks like, before we could make a decision. So we um, were in contact with the school actually at least 6 weeks before we went there in person. We did a research, we contacted the school. We had about two phone calls, one a video call with the admission office, and the first impressions were really good. Transparently, before the first visit, we have received a detailed breakdown of all the fees, so we know what to expect when it comes, from the pricing. We have received some brochure, so we understand how the preschool is being run. We have received a link to YouTube video where they were showing to some extent premises of the preschool, and then we schedule an appointment. So on the day of our arrival, the experience compared to the other preschools which I was describing in my previous video was completely different. You can tell that we went from level 10 to level 110. The premises of the school, the land on which the school is built is really, really huge. Um, Based on the Google Maps, you can see, multiple buildings with green areas for probably a cricket field, outside pool, multiple outside terraces for the children to exercise, to play, for morning gatherings, for the prayers, outdoor playgrounds. There's simply lots of things that is going on. Um, it is not immediately on a main road main road, and even if it was, the surrounding walls around the whole preschool are approximately 3 meters high. So it is creating a very nice separation and creating a noise cancellation wall, and to some extent also for the dust. So as we came inside, immediately what struck me was you had to pass through the security house, where at least 2 or 3 security personnel. You need to check in, you need to wait for somebody to come from the admission office to pick you up. You are not allowed to be just simply walking around the premises on your own. When we entered the premises, immediately I saw a large open space, lots of land, and what really surprised me in a good way was the number of the female security staff, which were simply everywhere. As we were walking from one place to another with the admission officer, there were always at least 1 or 2 pair of eyes which were looking at me. Based on a discussion with the admission officer, the school has 1,280 cameras which are monitoring the whole premises, and there's not a single blind spot. As we were walking outside, there were some classes which were held by a male teacher, male staff, and in that case there was always at least one, at least one, in many cases 2 female staff that were present in a class as well. What I really liked about this school was that there's no dietary restriction. When we send any lunch with our daughter to school, they will heat it up, prepare, they will feed her. What I found also interesting is, even though you have cameras everywhere, the school will not give you an application to log in and watch your kid on the phone. And the reason, we were told as well, the other parents may not like other people to be looking at their children, which I have to respect, to be honest with you. Anyways, on the first day we took the area tour of the premises, so we saw how a classroom looks like. We saw multiple indoor or outdoor playgrounds, outdoor pool, a library with hundreds of books. We were allowed to use the playground, so while we were there with our daughter on the first day, she would get a chance to just play around, to warm up to the environment. On the very first visit, we were so impressed by the school that we simply went to the admission office and we made a payment, and our daughter started attending the school on the following day. There was a warm-up period during which a parent is allowed to go to school and spend some time in a class, but it is always recommended or expected at the time that a parent would spend in a class every day is actually shorter and shorter. In our case, I'm happy to report that our daughter was able to settle in the new preschool, I think within 4 days. On the day number 4, we dropped her off, and she was able to stay there until 12:30 p.m. on her own. Yeah, she cried a little bit, in the morning, which is expected from a little girl, but after approximately 15 to 20 minutes, she warmed up, she was playing, and now every single day when we pick her up, she's actually very excited, and she's reporting what she has learned in school, and we are really surprised how much progress she's making every single day. She's showing us the dance moves that they were doing in the school, how they were playing, how they were sitting down. We call it in Europe the Turkish sitting, with the cross feet down. Um, just lots of things are going on. You can see their schedule every 45 minutes. In some cases, every 30 minutes, there's a different activity. So the children are not bored, and the children are taught from early age to some sort of a discipline, to some sort of a schedule. So um, very impressed, and I'm very happy that over the weekend, our daughter is actually saying, happy school, happy face, and she's looking forward to go to school. So very, very, very impressed. Um, I just would like to make one comment when it comes to the food. When I'm comparing the Oak Ridge with the first smaller local school that we have attended, when we were talking about the lunch or breakfast menu, I looked at the menu which they are serving to the children, and I could not actually read or recognize the names. And I made a comment like, "Hey, I don't think that our daughter, would be eating this because she's simply not used to it." And the teacher told me something which really surprised me, if you ask me, and that was the breakfast in a preschool is being served at 10 a.m. And by that time, the children are so hungry that they will eat anything. And I think that was a deal breaker for me that, all right, I am not putting my kid over here to starve her until 10, so then she would eat, even a piece of wood if you serve to her. So anyways, I know that the methodology or the reasoning is there, why that school, has this rule, but it's not playing really well, for me and my family. So that's my experience, with the Oak Ridge. Very highly professional school. I saw there a few international children. It was either Japanese or from Korea. In my daughter's preschool, she's the only international kid. All of them are local, but it's fine. I really like that we are trying to integrate ourselves into the local life, even though in a big part I have to admit that we live in our expat bubble, to give us some sort of a comfort and the security, so I can 100% focus on the work, which is expected. But yeah, and our playgroup where my daughter is 100% local, and she really loves it. So anyways, that's a quick update on the Oak Ridge Preschool. I will make tomorrow, if time permits, a detailed video how we were evaluating different hospitals in Hyderabad. If you have any questions, if you are planning to come to India and you have any concerns regarding settling in, there's a good chance that I mean me and my family have gone through those challenges or struggles already. Please feel free to drop a comment or a question below, and I will make sure that I will get back to it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.